Welcome back, Team Bear, for our sixth episode ng Market Watch natin, or also known as Market Tanod Watch. So, in this sixth episode ng Market Watch natin, dating gawin pa rin, didiscuss ko yung local markets, we'll look at the sectors ng local markets natin. Same with the global markets, no? Like US equities and crypto as well, no? Dahil, ayun nga, may mga current developments na nangyayari with the crypto market, no? So, ayun, let's start with our local markets muna, no? Which is PSEI. Let's look at our main index, which is the PSEI. So, from our previous discussion, we always look at the 50 EMA, no? So, in our 50 EMA, we can see that mukhang nag-support naman yung index natin dito sa 6,200 level. So, ang inaantay na lang natin, no, mga key breakouts na dapat basagin ng index natin to show momentum or bullish momentum is at 6,300 or dito sa 6,400 level. So, next resistance actually is at, ayun nga, like previously discussed, which 6,700 is a key level, no? So, paano natin siya nahanap? Looking at the fixed range volume profile of this range, no? So, medyo makapal tong area na yan, which is yung 6.8, 6.7 na area. So, madaming volume na naipit dito which will serve as resistance, no? So, actually, 6,600 yung point of control natin. Yun, sorry. So, mali pala yung tinitingnan ko. 6,600 pala yung point of control natin. So, madaming volume at this level na will most likely sell at break-even. No? Basically, they will serve as resistance to price to go upward. So, 6,600 yung next strong resistance level natin. So, actually, makapal din to, yung 6,500. So, ayun, at the big picture, no, looking at the big picture ng PSE, on a sideways market pa rin tayo. Okay, nag-breakout sa EMA 50 and nag-support naman at 6,000 level. So, pwede, if we break above this trend line, baka maka-experience tayo ng rally this December up to end of January. So, yan, high probability na magkaroon tayo ng bull market in the local markets this next 2 months. So, depende rin sa kung ano yung mangyayari sa global markets, no? So, ayun, looking at our sectors, no? So, lagi natin yan tinitingnan. So, as always, no, below 50 EMA, above 50 EMA, then okay, pasado. So, looking at our financial sector, so medyo weakening na yung financial sector natin. Below 50 EMA na siya, so totally pass na tayo for these kinds of stocks like BDO, BPI, etc., etc. So, next is holdings, no? So, previously, no, from the previous week, kita natin above 50 EMA siya. So, actually, naman siya, nagsusupport naman siya dito. And looking at the big picture, no, it's on a sideways structure and looks like a double bottom yung ginagawa niya. Mukhang nagdo-double bottom siya at this support area. So, maganda siya. Ang kailangan na lang gawin ng index na to or ng sector na to is break above this 6,100 area. Then we might experience a bullish momentum in the holdings sector. So, next is industrials. So, industrials, declining 50 EMA. Okay, slightly above 50 EMA. And nag-support naman siya at this level. So, key support yan. Key support level to. But industrials, no? Ano ba yung mga names under this? You can use the Screener Plus and just go to the descriptive section and put industrials and pwede tayo maglagay ng simple liquidity filter, no? So, value average of 10M. Okay na yan. Then, run natin. So, ito yung mga stocks under the industrial sector. So, okay, pasado naman siya. Ang kailangan na lang gawin yan is a downtrend line breakout, no? So, a good downtrend line breakout, so above maybe sa 9K level, mas safe yun. Then, we might experience good momentum in industrial sector. So, pasok dyan yung mga stocks under JFC. JFC, so maganda naman yung mga ginagawa ng mga stocks under industrial. So, nagbe-base yung JFC natin. May mga tradable structures ka dyan. Tradable structure and tradable setup. So, this is a base na if mag-breakout above 260, then yun, that's a good trade, no? Or a good setup to trade, basically. So, recently, may current developments na nangyari or parang na-halt or na-lift na yung suspension sa SPNet. We experienced a strong downturn or a strong decline on this stock. Syempre, pent-up supply yan. Daming gusto makaalis. Daming gustong magbenta kasi naipit. And just to be safe, no? Syempre, ibebenta nila yan. So, right now, ang tinitignan nating key support area sa SPNet is eto, sa 1 peso. Yan, psychological area yan. So, 105, 1 peso. So, psychological area siya na pwedeng mag-serve as support. So, pwedeng i-expect natin another wave downward yung SPNet. If hindi, pwede mag-coil muna dyan, then counter rally, fill the gap at this level. If meron talagang interest for SPNet. So, yun, medyo nawala na ako. Balik na tayo dito. Next, mining. Below 50 EMA, so pass. Property sector, showing signs of strength, no? So, meron tayong nakikitang parang breakout dito sa channel na yan. So, bullish breakout yung ginawa niya. Break above the resistance trend line nitong channel na yan. So, right now, although nagkaroon siya ng bearish engulfing nung 29th o November 29, ang magandang ginagawa niya is nag-creep upward siya, no? And this was a good retest dito sa resistance trend line na yan. So, ano ba yung mga under property sector? You can use Screener Plus ulit, no? Very effective tool siya to spot names under a certain sector. So, top-down yung ginagawa natin, di ba? Looking at the PSEI, if medyo may signs of bullishness, then go forward dun sa mga sectors na malalakas. So, yun yung structure of analyzing natin. Analyzing a market, no? And looking for setups. So, Ayala Land, okay, nag-breakout na siya dito sa square root structure na yan or reversal pattern na yan. But essentially, no, big picture, it's still on a sideways structure and may resistance trend line tayo at 35. Resistance at 35 pesos. So, or 34 pesos. Yan yung tinitignan nating next resistance area. Pwedeng at 35 or 34. If ang gagawin niyang rally is a steep one, most likely at 35. If mag-ano naman yan, mag-staircase na structure, most likely at 34. So, pag nagtuloy yan ng momentum na very steep, mga sabihin natin, 80 degrees or 60 degrees na rally, then most likely at 35. Ayun. Ano pa ba yung mga other names under properties? So, SM Prime, yun din. Still on a sideways structure. And, ayun, above 50 EMA na siya. And, next resistance level is at 38.4. So, ano pa ba? MEG, like previously discussed. Although wala pa rin interest with MEG, low volume pa rin siya, comparing versus to ALI and SM Prime. So, ayun. Pili ka na lang dun sa dalawang yun. So, other names, no, in the property sector, pwede mong gawin is go to the descriptive and switch mo lang to property. Then, run the screener. So, yan yung mga names under property. So, RLC actually, mukhang nagpapakita ng setup. Looks like SM Prime dati, no? Or nung before mag-breakout sa gantong klaseng structure. So, meron ka naman mapaplot na dyan, na parang wedge or something na ganun. So, basically, if we break above 15.3, then baka magkaroon ng ng strong momentum. So, this is a tradable setup naman. So yan, tingnan nyo na lang yung iba, no? So basically, okay naman yung property sector natin. So for our services, so looking at the big picture, no? Serve. So still on a declining EMA 50 or 50-day EMA. So meron tayong mapaplot na resistance trend line dyan. So as long as below tayo sa resistance trend line na yan, don't expect too much strength from the services sector. So mga names under services, you can go back to our screener plus, go to saan na ba yun? Services sector. Yan. Run the screener, then ito yung mga names under services. So ito yung mga ano natin, top names in the serve sector. So ICT, last week na-discuss natin yan. This is a tradable setup. Nag-retest na siya actually dito sa resistance trend line na yan. And possibly, ang next setup mo dyan is a rebreak dito sa 225 pesos. No? So, nag-i-inflect na rin upward ang EMA50 natin and we can see good volume dito sa area na yan. So, this is a volume breakout, no? So, good sign yan na baka magtuloy yung breakout sa base na yan. So, near all-time high level ang ICT. So, watch this stock, no? ICT. So, Bloom, isa sa mga positive year-to-date, although wala siyang emerging setup. So, kinda pass for this stock, no? So, dito, medyo maingay dahil nag-rally siya. Nagkaroon siya ng strong counter rally nung September or mid-September. Although, yun, medyo namatay na rin yung momentum for dito. Pero expect a possible mean reversion rally or a counter rally since, ayun nga, medyo overextended na rin siya versus 50 EMA. So, pwedeng mag-counter rally and might, EMA 50 might serve as your resistance, like what happened at this area and this area. This area pala, yan. Sorry. So, ayun. This is yung ito na yung pinaka-review natin for the local market. Basically, slightly bullish pero very selective on the sectors na ititrade mo dapat. So, tignan natin yung foreign flows, no? Let's keep it simple na lang. So, last 1 month and based on this data, no, from November 4 to December 4, refresh natin, double check natin. So, net foreign buying naman yung lumalabas. So, this is a good sign na yung pera from the foreigns is bumabalik na dito sa local market natin. So, this is a good sign. And this is our top net foreign buying stocks, ICT, SPNEC, and others. So, hindi ko lang alam ano yung nangyari with SPNEC. May 1.54 B na net foreign buy. And ito yung mga net foreign selling natin. So, you can look for possible setups in this top net foreign buying na stocks, no, for the past month. So, moving forward, let's look at the global markets naman. So, trading, muna tayo sa mga trading. Dito naman tayo sa trading economics na calendar natin. No? So, economic calendar muna yung tingnan natin. So, for the past week, ito yung mga significant news na lumabas sa US market. So, GDP growth rate, Q3, so above consensus. So, this is a good sign na the US economy is fine, no? Basically, hindi naman siya papunta dun sa recessionary na narrative or state. So, nag-expand ng onte, although medyo kinda hawkish yun for the Fed, no, na tipong nag-expand pa rin yung economy in terms of GDP. Personal income, core PCE, and spending, same with forecast and consensus lang din naman. So, medyo neutral. Hindi siya hawkish, hindi siya dovish for the Fed. So, manufacturing PMI, so 46.7 ang lumabas. So, this is a declining, or this is medyo ano siya, nagbibigay ng signs of slowdown sa US economy based on the manufacturing PMI. So ito yung mga news last week. Upcoming this week naman, ito yung mga lalabas. Punta tayo dito. So this week, services PMI naman yung lalabas tomorrow, and JOLTS or job openings. So what we are expecting dapat at least if gusto natin maging bullish pa rin yung market, dapat same with the manufacturing PMI, no, na medyo nagde-decline siya, para mag-shift na yung Fed to rate cuts, or a continued pause muna, no? Kasi dapat ang makita ng Fed is bumabagal yung economy. So ito yung mga tinitingnan natin. So JOLTS naman, dapat at least under consensus lang din. So yung iba, same with the unemployment rate. So crucial din to. So a higher unemployment rate might be bullish for the market. I might be wrong, pero ang pinaka-interpretation dyan is a higher unemployment, baka mag-pivot na nga yung Fed. And a Fed pivot is good for the markets kasi magkakaroon na ng rate cuts, etc. etc. And actually, yun yung pinaprice ng market. So moving forward sa key markets natin or key indices natin. So yung SPY actually nagano na siya. So this is the S&P 500 ETF. So nag-break out na siya dito sa July 26, 2023 high. 27 actually. So under a 52-week high, na siya, breakout. And nagkaroon naman ng volume surge on this breakout. So that's a good sign, no? Yung initial breakout, actually, ito yung breakout candle. Ito yung breakout candle. And may volume surge naman, that's a good sign for the S&P 500. So along with that, yung equal weighted naman natin. So inline naman siya with the SPY, and actually mas may pinapakitang momentum siya versus our market cap weighted S&P 500 ETF. Ito yung equal weighted. So mas maganda na ina-outperform niya yung market cap weighted sa ngayon. So yung Qs natin, our Nasdaq ETF. So ito yung niya, current structure niya. So looking at the big picture, ito yung next resistance area mo, 405, 406. So right now, nung nag-breakout sa resistance trend line na yan, it created a continuation structure or a box structure. So hindi man ganun ka-perfect, but pwedeng ganyan. Well, pwede mo rin yan i-interpret as a bearish channel. Yung ganyan. Parang ganyan. So, a break below this channel is bearish, di ba? So, right now, ang magandang signal na binibigay ng Qs natin is, ayun, nag-hold naman yung 385 level niya, no? Yung 380 level. So, as long as hindi yan nag-break below this level, so ito yung tinitingnan natin. So, a break below this 383 area or 383 level is bearish for the Qs or yung mga tech names natin. So, ayun. Ang magandang makita natin is a rebreak above this 10-day SMA. Then, rally toward 400, 405. So, equal weighted, so outperforming the market cap weighted. So, that's a good sign, no? Nagiging healthy, kumbaga, yung rally ng markets recently. And most likely, nag-rotate na yung pera to mid caps, small caps, no? And, kumbaga, nagiging na siya, patas na yung rally ng lahat ng names, no? Hindi na siya very concentrated sa mga sa big seven natin like Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So yun yung mga 'di ba? Yun yung mga mega caps natin. So hindi na siya very concentrated doon. May mga other large caps na ring nag-rally. and other tech names. So, yun yung pinaka-main signal niya. So, ilang minutes na ba tayo in? 20 minutes. So, next, IWM. So, this is the small cap index natin or small cap benchmark. So, IWM showing signs of strength. Nag-consolidate siya sa 50% area. So, ito yung 50% ng trading range natin for the small cap benchmark or IWM. So, Russell 2000 na ETF yan. So, nag-hover siya sa 50% ng trading range. And it broke above this base, no, or this continuation pattern. And ayun, looks like next resistance level is at 200, 195. So expect a possible follow through sa small caps, no. So may mga magandang actually yung daming setup sa small caps recently. So moving forward sa mid cap, same thing how we look at the small caps, no. So this is the trading range of the mid cap benchmark natin. Nag-break below 50% in trading range but recovered above it. So that's a good sign. And looking at the mid cap mid cap benchmark, same thing yung ginawa niya with the IWM. Nag-consolidate lang siya for 1 to 2 weeks and then nag-breakout na recently. And isa sa mga green flags na nakikita natin, this is a high volume breakout. No? So, ang ganda ng breakout nung Friday. Ano ba yung news nung Friday? So, balikan natin Para nag-react yung market with the manufacturing PMI. So, balikan natin to. Sorry. So, yeah. Yung manufacturing PMI. So, below consensus. So, baka ang pinaprice na talaga ng market is a pivot and possible rate cuts in Q1 2023. So, ayun, moving forward, no, let's look at our key market benchmarks then, which is this liquidity benchmark. So, Fed liquidity is yung Fed's balance sheet in terms of assets minus the Treasury General Accounts and reverse repo facility. No? So, right now, ito yung parang pinaka-proxy natin for liquidity. So, a rising liquidity, basically, the Fed is on a net buying mode, no? Or injecting liquidity in the markets, financial markets, and in the economy. So, right now, it broke above and sustained above this flag, no? Or this channel. Nag-breakout siya sa resistance trend line. So, this is a good sign. Ang ayaw lang natin makita is maging bull trap siya. Like what happened dito sa breakdown na yan. So, ang gusto natin makita actually is a breakout dito sa 6.3 trillion USD na na key market benchmark. So this is our liquidity liquidity benchmark. So global liquidity naman, so actually ang magandang nakikita din natin is hindi lang yung Fed yung nag-inject ng liquidity but also other economies like European Central Bank, I think nagka-counter rally na siya. So this is a good sign na paano na tayo? Pwedeng maging back na ng liquidity yung current market rallies natin. So that's a good sign. And if ganun, maging bullish yun sa markets natin. So China assets actually in net liquidity injection mode din. So although monthly data yan, but ayun, inflect above 50 month 50 month EMA, tama ba? So above naman siya dito sa key moving averages natin. So above 10 month, above 20 month and 50 month EMA. So Japanese assets, although declining but somewhat stabilizing dito sa 5 trillion mark. Okay, so moving forward sa sa mga other benchmarks natin. So DXY dollar strength. So actually kahit ito lang yung macro benchmark mo, pwede na 'yan. Pwede na siya. Ang kailangan mo lang tignan is if nag-weaken yung dollar, that's good for risk assets. So a weakening dollar is good for risk assets like equities, like crypto. So yan yung actually isa sa mga naging catalyst ng market natin or global markets. So dollar strength is weakening. And ayun, ingat na lang if nandito na tayo sa level na to. So US oil actually nag-counter rally yan for for the past week dahil ayun nga declining inventories or supply. And ayun, actually ang magandang nakikita natin dito is nag-resist siya dito sa 20-day EMA natin or 20-day SMA natin. So that's a good sign, and a declining US oil is good for risk assets as well, 'di ba? So yun yung isa sa mga ano natin, market benchmarks natin. So 2-year bond yields. So a declining 2-year bond yields is good for risk assets as well. And looking at the moving average configurations, which is etong 10-day, 20-day, and 50-day. So below na siya dyan and on a strong bearish momentum yung yields natin for the 2-year bonds, no. So 30-year also declining, so that's a good sign for risk assets as well, and as well as yung TNX natin. TNX is yung 10-year treasury note yield. So decreasing yields or declining yields is good for risk assets. So yun lang yung kailangan nyo itatak sa isip ninyo. Kasi pag bumababa yung yields, umangat yung bonds na kaakibat ng ano na yun, ng asset na yun or ng issue na yun. So yun, TNX below the key level na 4.3 na. So this is considered as a bull trap. A bull trap, no, in yields. This is a bull trap in yields. So this is good for risk assets. So pointing toward talaga yung mga key market benchmarks natin to a possible sustained bull market. So ayan, let's keep that simple muna, no. So next is looking at top 15 market groups. So blockchain is leading, home builders is next, mining and nuclear is actually ano na rin, mining and nuclear ano na siya, no, somewhat weakening na yung nagiging state niya. So previous week, no, last week, chain leading, uranium names and nuclear names. So next is yung cloud computing ETF natin. So actually, tong cloud computing is AI and blockchain related sector or market group. And others. So cybersecurity, gold miners, nag-improve din. And yun, yung other ETFs natin. So based on our market swing monitor, no. So let's look at the market breadth changes, rate of change breadth changes or short-term momentum and medium-term momentum. We can simply look at this as, sige, ito na lang. Actually, currently, dinedevelop ko to and ini-improve. So, basically, kinocompute niya yung 10-day slope, 5-day slope, and others. So, based on 52-week high data, we have a bull deceleration, 20-day data, or 20-day high-low data. Same, medyo decelerating. So, medyo bullish siya, pero baka magpakita siya ng short-term weakness, no, for our markets. Okay, wait lang, medyo may weird na lumalabas na data. So under beta testing pa lang to. So double check ko, sorry. So cut muna natin 'yun. Cut muna natin 'yan. So dito na lang tayo. So let's look at the charts, no. So ito yung cumulative 52-week high low data. So we can see it na nag-increase yung cumulative 52-week high natin. So that's a good sign. Lahat inflecting upward. And same with this 20-day and 50-day MA bread changes natin. So pointing lahat pataas. So that's a good sign. And that's a sign of sustain the bullishness in the markets. So, yun. Let's keep it simple na lang, no? So, yung kanina, medyo may mga problems pa ako ata with the algos. Yan ako siya, improve ko siya. So, for our US equities, market groups or sector dashboard natin. So, yun nga, blockchain, home builders, yan yung mga top names natin. So, you can pause this video. You can look at the top components of these top market groups. And you can look for setups in this leading names or in this leading group. So, blockchain, sige, tingnan natin. Actually, maganda yung ginagalaw ng mga blockchain-related names natin. So, MicroStrategy. So, we can see a breakout of this accumulation range. So, ito yung accumulation range natin. Breakout, then consolidate. So, tradable pa naman siya. It's still tradable. Pwedeng stops mo at this level. Targets mo, sige, tingnan natin. Let's use the fixed range volume profile to assess next key level based on volume. So, actually, kung price action lang or structure lang, 800 yung next target. But actually, medyo heavy yung area na to, yung 580. So, kung ito yung maging target mo, medyo pangit yung reward risk nga, no? So, balik tayo dito, weekly time frame. So, actually, ito yung ano niya. Isa to sa mga, tignan na lang natin i-move ulit natin yung fixed range volume profile natin. So, based on this data, so next level na makapal is 630. Then, karamihan ng volume is nandito sa area na to, sa 69 USD. So, if itong range or yung immediate range yung tinitignan natin, 630, pumapasok dun yung yung next resistance area. So, 2:1 reward risk, medyo mababa, no? But if ito yung maging target mo, 5:1. 4:1, 5:1. And very clear setup naman yan. Pwedeng lower time frame ka pumasok, and then i-tight stops mo na lang. So, depende sa diskarte mo. So, next is coin. Sige. Let's just look 3 names per market group or leading market group. So, Coinbase, very nice breakout dito sa accumulation range. So, pwedeng gawin yan is mag-create ng base dito sa 130 level or pwede mag-retest at 115 area or dito. Yan, sige, iusog na lang natin. Yan. 114. Key level, support area na yan. Serving as support. So, recently, nag-IPO lang yan. And this is considered as your IPO base. Or IPO, institutional accumulation base. So, pre-market, 146 siya. No? So, 5 p.m. na, PH time, start na ng pre-market. Pre-market in the US. So, this is good kasi kaya siya nag-gap up dahil yun nga, andun na tayo sa crypto bull market. BTC is above 40K. So, that's good for blockchain-related issues in US equities. So, pwede nyo tingnan yung other names. Riot, hindi lang na papunta dito sa top components. But, I think it's showing parang signs of parang MSTR din. So, nag-breakout dito sa, kumaga may pagka-fractal siya with MSTR. So, looking at MSTR, ganun din. Nag-wedge or nagkaroon ng flag or bull flag or parang wedge or bullish wedge. Same with Riot. So, ganun din. So, Riot platform. So, yan yung channel, retest, then rally. So, pre-market, gapping up 15.5. So, tingnan natin pre-market, no? Yung volume. So, weak volume. Hindi pa siya ganun kalakas na volume. So, baka excited lang yung mga tao. Yan, anyway. Moving forward, home builders. DHI, Len, Enevar. So let's look at these names if nagpapakita siya ng setup. So DHI or Horton, ito yung ano niya, ito yung July high niya. So actually, ano to, near all-time high level. So if it breaks above this 131 area, so all-time high ulit tong DHI. So ganda ng breakout niya nung Friday. And yun, if gusto mo mag-enter on the lower time frame, pwedeng at the retest sa 130, then dagdag ka na lang on the way up. So, ang magandang makita natin dito is a strong breakout at 131. So, medyo overextended na siya. But, sige, let's look at other home builder names like Len. So, yan yung top components. So, magkakamukha lang actually, no? So, this is a good sign for this market group. Halos same setups, halos same market structures, and if ganyan kasi, usually, yung industry momentum, nagsusunod-sunod yan eh. Nagsusunod-sunod siya. And very tradable market group siya, no? So, tignan natin if it breaks above 133 as well. So, halos magkapresyo lang siya nung DHI, no? NFR, so big picture, actually near all-time high din. Near all-time high. And this is a good bear trap, no? Bear trap yung ginawa niya. So, skinoop niya lahat ng sellers. And right now, pwedeng setup mo dito is a breakout at this level, 6.5 or at this level sa 6,400. So NFR. So for nuclear CCJ, mga very tradable market structure din to. So actually nag-gap up siya. Ito, this is a box structure, although yung last candle niya no nung Friday, parang this is a rejection candle. So balik tayo sa trading economics. Balik tayo dito. Tingnan natin yung uranium spot. So yun, actually 81 still showing signs of bullish momentum in terms of uranium prices, no. So halos 90-degree yung move niya, no. So most probably let's expect na magkaroon ng spillover toward uranium names ulit. Yung ginagawa ng uranium spot. So, tingnan natin pre-market. Ito, meron ako nito, NXE. Although wala pang pre-market data. Monday, Nvidia, and ALKT. So, ALKT is also a tech name, although software related. And nag-breakout din sa accumulation structure. And right now, it's showing continuation pattern. So, ito yung tradable pattern niya. So, UEC, for uranium pala, balik tayo dito. UEC. So, same thing with CCJ and NXE. Near all-time high. Itong UEC. And, actually, ito yung pinaka-all-time high niya, 935. But, sige, tignan natin if makapal ba itong area na yan based on volume profile. So, manipis lang siya. Karamihan ng volume is at 3.3. So, madami na rin kumita. So, let's see if it can break above 9.3. Itong UEC. So, other names, cloud computing, XSW is Ano 'to? Anong market group 'to? So, software din 'no? Balik tayo dito sa anong name nito? XSW is software din. Yung isa cloud computing. So, IT, VGT. So, tingnan nyo na lang yan. Hanap kayo na setup. So, for gold, sige. Very nice na i-discuss tong gold din. So, well, tignan natin yung SAO USD kahit CFD na lang. So, nag-all-time high yung gold spot natin or ito, yung gold, no? Gold mainly. So, nagano siya. On the fourth try, nag-breakout siya. Tignan natin if kaya niyang i-sustain tong breakout na to. Tong 2070 na breakout. Although, mukhang reject niya, no? Baka yung pera kasi is flowing toward crypto or risk assets ulit. So, hirap eh. Hindi ko mahanapan ng narrative yung gold eh. But, ayun nga, since declining yields yung ano natin, 2-year, 10-year, 30-year. So, baka ano to, flight to safety tong ano din, yung pera ng other uh, yung liquidity essentially, no? Pupunta sa gold. So, gano'n naman eh. If may signs of uncertainty, hindi sure if ano ba talaga yung stance ng Fed and whatnot, yun, umangat yung gold. At the same time, ayun nga, declining USD din, declining USD or declining DXY. So, tignan natin other market groups. So, steel production, ito, Rio, Vale, and UE. So, you can look at this names. You can pause this video and look for setups in the top 10 kahit papaano, no? Top 10 market groups. So, in my focus list, sige, pakita na lang din tayo ng other names na tinitignan natin. So, VRT at all-time high. At all-time high itong VRT. So, isa to sa mga tinitingnan ko. And very tradable naman yung setup na binibigay niya. So, this is a consolidation structure. And, yun, nag-breakout siya, no? Nung Friday. So, gapping up, or hindi naman gap up, but pre-market is at 45.5. So, AV point, ganun din. Looks like VRT din. But for AV point, meron ka pang mga resistance at this level, dito sa IPO structure na yan, so IPO area. And, ayun, continuation pattern siya. So, it's a tradable setup naman. So, Bellring brand, so continuous upward lang din. Although, wala na akong BRB or Bellring brand, wala na ako niyan. UEC, eto AMRX or Amneal Pharmaceuticals. So, medyo ano siya, small cap siya. Pinaka-tradable pattern niya is eto, or tradable structure niya. So, coming from a rally, nag-create ng base and yun, if it breaks above this base, wala namang upcoming earnings, and I think wala namang upcoming announcements for Amneal. Ito yung ano mo, next resistance area mo at $6. $6. So another emerging theme din is AI or genomics pala. Genomics like CRISPR. Ito, tradable naman siya. Nag-breakout sa downtrend line. So since 2021, it's on a decline na, no? So nung 2020, nag-rally yan dahil sa COVID. I think dahil ayun nga, sila yung isa sa mga pioneers ng or isa sa mga naging primary contributors sa mga vaccines, no? Sa mga vaccines. So right now, breakout sa resistance trend line and it's consolidating or creating a continuation structure. So tradable naman siya. It's up to you if saan yung entry mo. Pwedeng 50% or on the breakout at 75. Pwede rin itong area na yan at 68. Depende sa inyo. So, next is TJX. So, apparel and footwear. So, pangit lang yung naging reaction ng earnings. So, medyo pass na yan. Tanggalin ko na yan actually. AGI, a gold related name. So, breakout above this resistance trend line. Nag-rally siya. So, gold mining or gold miners, itong AGI. So, pwede on the retest at 14. Depende sa move ng gold. Kung ano yung maging diskarte mo. To DraftKings. So, DraftKings, looking at the big picture, no, approaching resistance area at 15 na tayo. So, yun yung possible next resistance area. But, sige, tignan natin yung volume profile. Saan yung makapal talaga. Next, yun nga, 50. Ito yung next na point of control mo. So, titignan mo yung trading range na yan. Ito, yan. So, tatanungin mo, saan may pinakamakapal na volume? Volume node, I mean. 50. So, madaming ipit dyan na will serve as resistance. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Ganun siya kasimple. So, daily time frame, you have a tradable continuation pattern. So, box breakout, then pwede. Papuntang 50. Sakyan mo siya. So, MU, pulling back to the 20-day SMA. So, ano din, semicon-related name. So, ito yung niya. Ito yung accumulation structure niya. Pattern target or measured target is at 88, 87. So, tingnan din natin saan yung makakapal na volume niya or volume node. Yun, pasok, 80. 80, although ito, yung measured target natin is at 87. Pasok with the value area high. Ito, point of control is at 80. So, medyo mukhang nag-resist talaga siya right now at 80. Kasi most likely, may mga break-even sellers ka na nagsaserve as resistance at the $80 area. Yun, so far, yun lang muna. Sige, moving forward sa crypto natin. So, simplihan lang natin, looking at Bitcoin, nag-ano na siya, breakout sa 40K level. So, that's a good sign. Napin natin yung next resistance area. Next resistance area is at 46K, 47, 47K. So, ito yung value area high niya based on the fixed range volume profile. And may confluence with this. Hold on. Ito. Hanggang dito dapat. So, tinitignan niya yung range na yan. Kino-compute niya lahat ng volume per price. So, pumapasok na ito yung next value area high mo or high volume node mo. So, this will serve as resistance, tong 47K. So, ito yung point of control mo. Nag-breakout na siya sa point of control na yan. Yung 38K level na yan. So, after this breakout, no, yung high volume node breakout or point of control breakout, yun, nag-ano na siya. Continuous momentum candle na yung pinakita niya. So, ano siya, medyo looks like a 90-degree move, no? So, maganda if makakita tayo ng continuation muna or pause days. So, that's para magkaroon ng healthy movement tong BTC natin. So, ETH, ganun din. Fresh breakout above this accumulation structure. So, lagging siya versus BTC. Ito, tignan natin volume profile. Next resistance is at 2650. 2650. So, for crypto naman, no, ito mga tinitingnan ko na medyo low cap or mid cap names. So Gala, ito yung accumulation structure na tinitingnan ko. Nag-breakout na rin sa AVWAP or anchored VWAP. So, tingnan natin if sustain niya tong 0.028. So right now, so actually ngayon meron akong DODOX and CVX and NTRN USDT.P. So mga ano lang naman, mga small caps na nakita ko recently. So all-time high or all-time high tong ano na to, tong issue na to. Same with DODX na near all-time high din and CVX na actually yung CVX hindi naman but ano siya papunta tayo dun sa may base siya coming from a rally and possibly mag-rally siya papuntang 4.3. So next resistance actually 4.2. Ano lang siya, simple 3-to-1, 5-to-1 reward risk ratio na trade. So actually halos lahat yan, mga lower time frame trades. So recently, na-trade ko na to from this level. So from this box structure, papunta dito sa resistance area na yan. Then next round, ito yung tinitrade ko. So papuntang 4.2 or kahit 4.3 if possible. So 3.84, ano siya, reward risk ratio. So risk, $1, balik sa'yo, $3.84. So mga ano lang, mga swing trade lang, scalp to. So BTC kasi wala na tayong makitang tradable setup right now naiwan na tayo So yun, so hanap na lang ng ibang mga laggard plays. Yun, right now looking at BTC dominance, no. So umangat siya. ETH.D. So basically makikita natin na yung pera nasa BTC talaga, no? And yung pera from USDT is nagfo-flow pa ng BTC. So pag nakita natin nagde-decline ng BTC and ayun, makita natin umangat ng ETH, baka doon lumilipat yung pera. Then altcoin yung pwede mong i-trade. So yun, ito yung mga tinitignan natin sa crypto market. So total 3. Actually, nakita natin is umangat na siya, nag-breakout siya dito sa base na yan. So this is the market cap excluding BTC and ETH. So much better gauge to for the health of the crypto markets kasi inalis mo yung mga major coins mo, no, na pwedeng sinuskew niya yung view mo in the markets. So total 3. If masustain niya for 430B, 428B, then baka yun nga, masustain yung bull market for crypto. So, yun na muna, no? Basically, bull market in the crypto space. So, kung kaya nyo gatasan ninyo. As long as you manage your risk, 1% lang per trade, yun dapat mawala sa inyo. So, take it one trade at a time. Huwag kayong magmadali. Huwag din kayo maging greedy. No? So may time for that. Always manage your risk and ayun, wag niyo ilagay yung pera sa ulo ninyo kasi pag dumating sa time na tingin mo Superman ka na or nagkakaroon ka na ng win streak in trading crypto, US equities, baka doon ka mag-all in, then baka doon na pa-reverse pala yung market and doon maibalik yung kinikita mo. So as always, dapat always protect your profits and ayun, mag-iingat kayo palagi kasi very vulnerable if nilalagay yung pera sa utak. Parang alak lang siya. So anything in excess, excessive confidence, excessive ego is bad in trading the markets. So, yun lang muna yung piece of advice na mabibigay ko sa inyo. Very simple market review lang, market outlook or yun nga, market watch like the title indicates, no? So, tinitingnan natin yung markets. Yun, we're trading what we see, trading what we can. As long as our risk management methods permits us, no? Laging risk first mentality. And that will be it, no? Yun na muna yung market review natin or market watch natin. So I hope na magatasan nyo tong Santa Claus rally na to. As always, if may tanong kayo or may concerns kayo on on your recent trades or yung mga tinignan natin right now. If may questions kayo, you can personally DM me, personally PM me in my Facebook page or Twitter account or X account. So Twitter, wala na yung Twitter, no? So yun, you can ask me questions. You can comment it in our comment section below. If may mga suggestions kayo for improvements in our content, you can please let me know and gagawa natin ang paraan yan. So, as always, ingat kayo. God bless and goodbye.